Hi guys! So I am really excited about what I get to show you today and really what I get to do today. And I have mentioned a few times and done a few videos for the development of this, but I have finally started working on this project that I've talked about, and it's this short little graphic novel that I'm going to do, and this is the first page that I have made any headway on. So I'm really excited to finally actually be working on the product itself and move past developing it, which it's always exciting to finally get something started when you know that you're ready, you planned everything out, and you just need to execute it. So I'm really excited about creating graphic novels and telling stories visually in this kind of a medium. It's something that I've been really interested in for a very long time, and I'm really excited about all these different stories that I can actually create now and not just these standalone illustrations. So I'm really excited about where this can lead and future stories, and it's just amazing to think about. And I don't actually have a ton of experience in doing the actual pages for these. There have been a couple little sets of 6 to 10 pages that I've done for different classes where I've had to have a story that I develop. So there have been times where I have figured kind of out how I go about doing pages, but I've never done a full complete story arc. And that's what I'm really excited about this time, is being able to have something complete to show for it at the end of this. So before I started this page, I went back and I looked at the past comic pages that I had created just to kind of reminisce a little, see what I had learned and what I wanted to do better in these ones. And it was just so interesting to see that there was this huge difference between them. And it's really interesting to see what parts I've really grown and figured out, where I was really starting at the total bottom when it came to the first comic pages that I created. I had no experience doing it. I had no idea what I wanted out of it or how to even go about creating my own style of a comic page, as far as the formatting and how the panels lay together and the speech bubbles and all that. So as I was looking at these and looking between that project and then the next project that I did comic pages for, it was this huge difference where I feel like I really kind of began getting my footing on what I liked out of my own comic pages and what I wanted to show in future ones. And I feel like already at the end of this first page, I actually have it almost finished at this point while I'm talking, but that part is a mystery to you. I only have the line art here right now, but I feel like it really is a huge step up from even my last group of comic pages that was about a year ago, and it's just really exciting to feel like I'm really getting better at something. When I look at my illustrations, I find that getting better and the changes are a lot more subtle, and it's a lot harder to see that I'm actually improving. So sometimes it can feel like I'm really stagnated and I'm not getting better, but I know that I am, it just doesn't look like it is, so it's really kind of frustrating sometimes. But for this, it feels really exciting and new, and like I'm really being able to make ground in something that I had no idea about how to do not that long ago. So I have a couple very specific goals that I really want to focus on as I'm working on these graphic novel pages, and one of them is being able to commit and make a decision. Now, I find that these pages end up taking me a long time, and the past ones that I have done, that was a real issue where it just took me so much longer to finish these pages than in the end it felt like it should have. And I think one of the main reasons that it ends up taking longer than I think it should is that I have a hard time buckling down and making that decision. So I've talked about it before, but color is one of those things where I just have a hard time getting it right at the first off, getting it right away and being able to move on. So that's one thing that I really need to focus on for this, because at the speed that I have to do to be able to get these graphic novel pages done in time, which I do want to get them done before I go back to school. So I have a deadline. So I can't let myself rework the colors of a page endlessly for half a day when I really need to be moving on to the next step. So I need to be able to, in short, figure out the colors as I'm working on the piece and really just get it right. And I think one of those things is that I need to simplify the way I'm thinking about the colors. I need to kind of think of one base set of colors and then a couple accent colors, and then I just need to work from there and move on. And I also find that as I'm drawing, I can get a little hung up on not quite knowing how I want to draw something, especially things in the background where I don't have a lot of experience, so I don't have a lot to just be able to draw it out. So I'll spend a long time just kind of thinking it over and looking at it and trying to figure it out, and then I'll spend forever looking at reference photos and other artists' work and just trying to think it through that way, when I feel like sometimes I just need to buckle down and make it happen and get it done and draw it, as opposed to think about it so much. So that's really my main goal, is being able to streamline my workflow so that I'm not getting halted on these different details and just being able to move from one step to the next and get it done, kind of like a machine. I would like that, to be able to move a lot more quickly from one to the next and being able to complete a full page in a reasonable amount of time. So here's actually a perfect example of that. I had a backpack sketched out and I inked it pretty much close to that, and then I decided that I didn't really like it, so I did another backpack, and then I didn't like that one, so then I looked up research on what different backpacks look like, and then I drew another backpack that looked like a reference photo, and I didn't like that anyways, so I ended up drawing like 3 different backpacks, and then the final one that I ended up doing was very similar to the sketch and the first backpack that I drew. So that's one of those things where it's just, I need to accept that the first one was good and move on. I think the issue is that I want everything to be as good as possible, and I don't want to make any shortcomings or make myself, hold back and not make everything as good as possible. But I think I need to be able to be aware of what things are working and what things are not actually working. And I think in this case, that backpack, it was working and it was okay. And that is about it for the inking process for this one, and I really loved it. There's just something really magical about working on a story and having these emotions and these characters that I can really get more attached to than just in an illustration. So I am really loving it. I'm looking forward to all the other pages that I am going to be able to do. So yeah, it'll be really fun, I think. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to hit subscribe so you can catch all the future art videos, including the coloring of this piece, and I will see you at my next one. Bye!